Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to what I believe is the fourth video in this video tutorial series for Arvest. Today we are going to be getting into projects, which I think people will probably have been looking forward to as much as people can look forward to things in this kind of video tutorial series. But yeah, no. So we've covered media, so how to link to media that exists online and upload the media that you would like to use within Arvest. We've covered manifests. So manifests are those kind of composite, more complex digital objects that allow us to, for example, link different medias together in a paged kind of format. We can add metadata, we can add titles, annotations, all that kind of stuff. And now we're going to be looking at projects, which is really the kind of final step where we will be bringing all of our manifests into a workspace. We'll be able to do lots of different things, from like simply placing them in different spaces within the workspace to annotating them, creating different types of annotations, linking different manifests together, all that kind of stuff. And then the idea is that that project is something that you can share with the rest of the world. So obviously you can share things like manifests and medias and all that kind of stuff. But if you want to share more kind of complex projects and associations of documents, and also, insert them into kind of storytelling, then it's probably projects that you'll want to share. So today we will be going over the simple, basic parts of project creation. More complex things like, for example, annotation, we will be looking at in the next video, because that can be a whole complex thing within its own. Today we'll just be looking at how to set up a project, how to bring our manifests into the project, the different ways that we can display things, the kind of different points of the workspace. So we'll be getting into all of those kinds of things. So as you see, I'm here logged into Arvest. I have my three main tabs here, so projects, manifests, and medias. On my projects tab, we have the same, so we can filter our projects according to different search terms. We can sort things by date, by title, all that kind of stuff. We can create a new project down here at the bottom right, and you'll see that each item isn't quite the same as manifests and medias. We don't have three links, we just have two. So we have one button to open the project within the editor, and then we have this configuration tab here, which is where we can find our general tab, so for updating things like title and description, all that kind of stuff. And we can also duplicate our project, delete it, all that kind of stuff. Again, we have our share button, but you see that this time we've got more than just permissions. We also have things like creating iframes, snapshots. We'll get into that in a second. But we also have metadata and an advanced edit item. So like manifests, we have this advanced edit. So it's a similar format. You'll see it's JSON data, but it's not IIIF manifest. It's actually a Mirador project snapshot. But yeah, we won't be getting into advanced editing today, but just to let you know that that's where you can edit the kind of raw data of your project if you need to. So let's get out of that and let's create a new project. So I'm going to come here and create a new project, and I'm going to call it just something like example project. There we go. So you'll see that, so first of all, the advanced edit is grayed out. That is because it won't be available until you've actually opened the project in the editor. So that's just something to let you know. So it's called example project. I can give it a description. So this is to demonstrate how to make a project. We can add a thumbnail URL. So like when we were creating manifests, we can open a media tab here to get a link to media that we've uploaded to Arvest. However, as I said before, it's actually a good practice excuse me, to not have a massive image file as a thumbnail. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to save that, and I'm going to come to my media here, and for example this motorbike one, and I'm actually going to use this link here. So I'm going to Control A or Command A on Mac to select the link to this thumbnail that was created, and Command C to copy that. And so if I show that, then you'll see that it's quite a small image, and I'm going to use that as my project's thumbnail because it's a smaller image, and it'll be easier for things to compute if that is the case. So, excuse me. I'm recording these in a batch, so my voice is going to be getting progressively more and more coarse as the series of videos go on. So yeah, we shall come back to sharing probably at the end of this video, but so metadata, and again advanced edit we won't be going over in this video, but that's where you can find things there. So our example project is created at the moment. It's pretty empty. We're going to open the project here, and you'll see that we are welcomed with this. So I'm going to actually collapse this tab here, which is a useful thing if you want to know. Although I will, before doing that, I will just show you that, so here we have example project opened, and we can click here to save the project, just so that we don't lose our progress. I'm not sure if, oh yeah, we can click on save when it's collapsed as well. It will auto-save periodically, but it's always good practice in any kind of digital environment to hit save as often as possible. So for those who are familiar with IIIF, you will notice that this workspace could be familiar to you, and in fact we have the little logo down here, which takes us to the Mirador website. That is because, so in keeping with the kind of interoperability and things like that, our editor is actually a fork of the Mirador IIIF editor, with lots of added functionality like audio-visual playback and annotations and all that kind of stuff. But that means that if you're already familiar with Mirador, then you hopefully should not be at all lost when looking. When using Arvest. To give credit where it's due, yeah, this is a fork of Mirador, and many of the things that we're going to be looking at here today are kind of basic Mirador things. Yeah. So here I am in an empty project, and it's telling me that my resource list is empty. So basically what that means is there aren't any manifests in my project to use yet. So how do I get manifests into my project? Well, very much like in the other parts of the GUI, we have this add resource button down here, which opens up this little add resource tab. So basically it's looking for the URL of a IIIF manifest or collection, but we won't get into that. So I'm going to need a link to a manifest, and it so happens that if I click on this little tab up here, which is actually written manifests, that I have my manifests, my collection of manifests that I have created beforehand, where if I just click on them, it's going to copy the path to the clipboard, and that's going to allow me to press add resource and then Control V or Command V on Mac to paste that link and then press add, and then it's added the manifest to my project. So it's as simple as that. Bearing in mind that with this add resource, it doesn't have to be a manifest that is hosted within your instance of Arvest or on your Arvest account. It can be any IIIF manifest which is openly available online. So which is actually demonstrated here by if I copy the path to this manifest that we added in the previous video, which is actually hosted at Harvard. If I paste that in, you'll see that this link, it's not an Arvest hosted manifest. It's a Harvard Art Museum hosted manifest, and if I click add, then you'll see that that is still working fine. So you can add IIIF manifests from around the world into your project, and it'll all work. So I'll add a few more. Let's add this motorbike one, which has for some reason become the running theme within this tutorial series. I shall add that there. And so I've added these 4 different manifests to my project. So now, this is the list of manifests that I have available to me. I'm going to want to open, for example, one of them up. So if I open this one here, we see that it's opened up in an interface that you'll be familiar with, because when we were creating our manifests and we previewed them, it opened it up in this interface, or something very similar, which you can see here. And so we're going to just scroll through the different canvases, just to remind you that's not like an error. It's actually Dorna Sports who blocked the access to that video outside of YouTube. But anyway, so we have our manifest within Arvest, and it's all open, and we can take a look at it. But now what I can do is I can, at the top left, I can return to my list of different manifests here, and I can add another one. And now you see that when we're back in the workspace, I now have 2 manifests which are open at the same time, which can be, of course, very useful. So, well, just to demonstrate, you can open up as many different manifests as you like. So we'll open up a few more. So here we have 4 different manifests with different media types which are open. Let's put that on the video just to demonstrate. This one has a video as well, I believe. So here we have an example of 4 different manifests which are open. Here we have 3 manifests which we created, which are hosted on Arvest. Here we have a manifest which is hosted at Harvard. We have multi-page manifests, so this one has different images in it, for example. This one just has one image in it. We have what we call multimodal manifests. So here we have a manifest with audio-visual content in it. Here we have another one, and we're viewing them all within the same workspace. Now, at the moment, the workspace is in what we call mosaic view, and so what this means is it will make it so that the manifests occupy the entirety of the screen. In fact, for the continuation of this video, I'm going to put this into full screen mode. So if you come to the left here, you see that there's a full screen icon here. So now we have a bit more screen space. So if I'm in mosaic view. If I take a manifest, for example, I can drag it around, drag its window around, and you can see that I can place it differently. but it's on this kind of grid that will always occupy the whole screen, and yeah, which can be useful for putting things into the space in different ways. But there are different ways of viewing things. So, for example, if I come to the little cog here called Workspace Settings, I can click here, and I can go on select workspace type. So we'll have a look at some of these other things in a sec. But so if I go to select workspace type, at the moment I'm in mosaic view, but I can also move to elastic view. And what that means is that I am now within, so you see that I've got my same documents here, which will kind of stacked on top of each other. But I'm now actually in a different kind of workspace. I'm in an infinite kind of space that I can drag my mouse around to move around with, and I can actually drag my different documents to different parts of this workspace, and we start getting something that might be more like I don't know, like a physical desk where you can start looking at different things. I can resize these different windows so that they fit different things. I'll start playing my video there. I can resize this, for example. I like it when my windows kind of hug the media that they're referring to. Resize that one like that, and we can have our sculptures up. Like that, for example, just to show the kind of different functionalities of resizing things like that. So this is our more kind of infinite workspace, which allows us to really freely place our different manifests within the space. Put that onto page 2, for example. Anyway, so you can see that you can very quickly start comparing different documents. You could start organizing them differently. You could place them in different parts of the workspace according to various things. You can see differences, for example, between two videos of a performance that's been filmed, or you know, we will be in a later video in this series. We'll be getting into some more kind of precise use cases and projects that could be useful to do with Arvest, but this is just kind of showing you the different functionalities for the moment. But yeah, so that is the elastic view. If we go back to the workspace settings, we'll see that we've got a few more things that we can see. So if we want, we can hide the zoom controls within the manifests, which is not necessarily something that you might want to turn off, but you can. It's up to you, because you basically have these. We'll look at the manifest panes in a second, but yeah, we have this control that allows us to control the zoom of the item, but we can hide that if we like. So we've seen workspace type. That's to pivot between different workspace types. And we can change the language of the interface if you like now. So because this is open source, an open source project based on Mirador, you see that we've got lots of different languages that we can use. I shall keep it in English for the moment. So I put in a quick cut there because I found a little bug which is going to have to be sorted out by the dev team. So I was about to show you how to change theme, but the pop-up isn't actually popping up when I'm in full screen mode. So I'm going to come out of full screen mode just to show you how to change the theme. So at the moment there are just two different themes, which are the default Mirador themes, light theme, which we have at the moment, and dark theme. So this changes how things look a bit. I know, I think I probably prefer this, even if I'm not sure I prefer the color of that, for example. But well, no, it's not too bad. But anyway, yeah, let's why not? Let's keep things for the remainder of this video in dark theme. So that is the workspace settings tab. We also have the different windows that we have open. So you see that, especially when we're in elastic mode, you can actually center the view on these different manifests which are open, which can be useful, especially when you have many different windows that are open and you'll kind of need to find your way. Underneath the workspace settings, we also have workspace options. So this is a bit more advanced. This allows you to essentially create a snapshot of the project and be able to interact with that snapshot and keep a trace of that, of the code, which is the raw data, which is being shown, which is being used to make up this project. We have an easier way of doing that within the GUI, which we shall see in just a bit. But so those are the different ways to navigate around the space and to configure the space according to your needs. And of course, I think we've seen it, but if you want to get back to your list of resources, then you have that there. So now that we've seen that, let's have a look at a more detailed look at some of these panes. So we can do various things. Sorry. And I've just closed that. Sorry, let's open that again. Up. So this is the pane that represents your manifest. Everything will be contained within this pane. So I'm saying pane. I suppose the more appropriate term is a window. But yeah, anyway. So this interface will change slightly if we compared to if we're viewing a video resource, for example, or an image resource. For example, on the images we have these zoom controls. With videos we don't at the moment, but of course with videos we have the playback and scrubbing and all that kind of stuff. So let's take a closer look at what we're seeing here. So here we have up at the top the title of the manifest. If I open this little toggle sidebar here, then I can get a bit more information about this item. If I want, obviously the best way to get your head around all this kind of stuff will be to go and try it yourself, but I will show you the different functionalities. So we can open this as a separate panel, which allows us to move the location of this little menu. So I'm just going to click on maximize window, which is at the top right here, so that we can focus in on this manifest. So yeah, we can change the position of this sidebar if we like, by pressing the open in a separate panel and then clicking on move to bottom here, move to right, all that kind of things. But we'll just keep it. We'll just keep it here for now. We can see that we have the name of the resource again here, but we also have a certain amount of metadata which shows up here. So the date, classification, credit line. So all of this is all information that is contained within the IIIF manifest, which gets displayed here. So you've seen that we have the maximize and minimize window button, which allowed us to kind of put this manifest into full screen or not. We can also change the way that some of these things are shown. So this is a multi-page manifest, so we can actually see the different pages all at once in here if we like. We can put thumbnails of the different pages at the bottom. We can put this back into single so that we can navigate the different pages by clicking on the thumbnails. This is, it gets very extensive, so there's lots of ways that you can configure different things. I'm just like scratching the surface of the things we can do here, but it's just to show you your way around. So let's keep thumbnails on. Why not? We can close. Sorry, we can close the manifest with the little cross here, but we'll keep it open if we want. Yeah, no, let's close it, and just to demonstrate, so it's been removed from my workspace now, but it's still within my list of resources, so I can open it up again if I like. And let's turn those thumbnails back on. So this is our sidebar here, which is going to be the main way of controlling the different things that we can do and see with the manifest. This is the main information tab that we have right here, but we also have a rights tab, which is where information pertaining to the attribution and logos and all that kind of stuff, which is within the manifest, will be displayed. We have another tab for seeing the different pages within the manifest, which can be seen either as a simple list or as a thumbnail and a list. And this allows us also, it's actually the case here as well, but we can see the titles of the different canvases as well, things like that. And then we have annotations here. So this has actually got a number of annotations already in it. But we are going to be able to add annotations using Arvest's annotation editors, which we will be looking at in the next tutorial. But yeah, that is how we're going to start viewing and start creating annotations. It's going to be via this tab here. So I shall minimize that again. And that's actually pretty much it for the basics of projects. So I'm going to move out of full screen there just so that I have a bit more screen space. So yeah, sorry, I put in a quick cut there because I had to answer a pressing phone call. So yeah, you can see how easy it is to start bringing items, your manifests, into your project and start configuring them differently, start comparing documents, start moving them around, and focusing in more precisely on different kinds of documents. So obviously in upcoming tutorials we'll be seeing, so next time we'll be seeing annotations and how to start so annotating textually or with visual overlays different documents, but also linking different documents together and all that kind of stuff. And in further tutorials, we'll be seeing how we can also create, for example, more complex views of collections of documents and create complex manifests that we can drop into the project and start navigating things as networks and excuse me, and lots of very interesting stuff like that. But we shall be seeing that next time because this video is already heading on to finish. So I'm going to save my project. I'm going to come back to the projects tab, and I'm just going to quickly show you some of the sharing capabilities. So if I come to the share tab of my project here, you'll see that, so I've got the usual permissions and being able to share with different Arvest users, so I can actually share the project and allow them to modify it and all that kind of stuff. But what about if I want to share my project with the rest of the world? Well, there's two ways of doing that. The first is to just create a link that you can send someone, and they will be able to open up the project, not be able to edit it, obviously, but they'll be able to view it in the current state that you left it. So each video should be at the precise moment that it was paused at when you saved the project, and each annotation should be open, each page should be at the page that you were currently looking at it. So to do that, we create what we call a snapshot. So you see in this snapshot section we have copy link and generate project snapshot. So if I click generate project snapshot, we see that a snapshot was taken today at 10:01, 54 seconds. And that has created a link which I can copy. And so I'm going to copy this link and paste it to a new tab, and you'll see that so my project is here as I left it. So this is this should be zoomed in where I zoomed it in. We have my video here. And so that is a link that I'm going to be able to send to different people. And for example, if I go back into my project and I don't know, I zoom out for this on this and put it to a different page, for example, and I save my project again. And then I come and I create a new snapshot, generate snapshot, and I copy that link. We should see that that will have updated. Yeah, so we're on a new page and it's zoomed to the new place. So that is the first way of sharing a project. And the second way is by creating an iframe. So this works the same way in as much as you will need to generate your snapshot each time. But it also inserts it into this iframe element, which is an elephant, which is an element that you will be able to drop into a website, for example, so that you can have an encapsulated version of your project. So for example, if you have a WordPress website, you can add I believe it's an HTML element, they must call it, where you can just copy and paste this code, and that will have an encapsulated instance of your project within the website. And that's how, for example, all the examples on the Arvest website work. It's just copying and pasting this code here. And again, you'll notice that, so this is the source. This is actually the link to the snapshot you have here. So you can generate different snapshots and have different states of your project. And so you can really start seeing how you can have your project at one moment, configure it in a certain way, then generate a snapshot and keep hold of that snapshot, and then make some modifications and then create another snapshot. And you can show how your project has progressed over time. So yeah, those were the basics of of creating projects. So bringing different types of manifests and media into the workspace, being able to display them differently, different kinds of views, all the things about the different tabs about info on manifests and all that kind of stuff. In the next video, we shall be looking at annotations, so the different ways that we can start annotating our documents and linking different documents together. Then we shall do another video that kind of takes everything that we've seen up till now and tries to stitch them together in a more kind of cohesive project that is perhaps a bit more that has a bit more thought behind it than just sticking a motorbike and a picture of Notre Dame and a sultan together and seeing what happens, which could be an interesting project. But yeah, we'll perhaps show an example, a more complete example from end to finish of taking medias and creating manifests and how that it can be useful to see these things within a project workspace. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to post them in the comments below, and you'll be able to find all the links to things that you will need in the description as well. So thanks very much for watching, and I shall see you next time.